guys, we have a presentation about government policies, and this is about election process. This presentation is brought to you by Andrew,
Connor,
and Brooke.
So let's get started. Who is the title stand for election? Brooke, can you tell us about that, please? Oh, I will. You have to be at least 18 years old for election. You need to be a registered citizen living or working within the local authority's border.
However, you cannot stand for election if you have a serious criminal record of being disclosed bankrupt. Furthermore, you cannot vote if you have been detained under the section of the Mental Health Act.
what does a council candidate need? A council candidate needs a proposer, a seconder, and 8 other signatories in order to stand for an election.
Candidate selection process. Prospective parliamentary candidate. In order for an PPC needs a proposer, a second and 8 others signatories. The selection process includes attending a selection day which involves training, interview and a test. If accepted, declared by PPC, vacancies are distributed as they arise, can apply to a local constituency without residential qualifications, and go to a local selection.
A political councillor needs to be recommended or self-referred. The candidate is usually an activist or a person with strong commitment towards the group. Each candidate is interviewed by a selection committee who decide which candidate represents the party. Successful candidates identify their preferred ward and attend a selection meeting with ward members.
Independent councillor. Candidates are self-selected and apply directly to the local authority at the appropriate time. Each candidate still needs 10 signatories.
Councillors hold a seat for 4 years unless voted in during a by-election. Some councils elect all in, all out. This means that rather than electing a few councillors every 4 years, they re-elect all councillors at the same time.
Members of Parliament don't have a set amount of time in office and sit in office until they are elected out by their constituency. MPs are elected when the Prime Minister calls for a general election, which must be called at a maximum of 5 years.
Activities that can be done are party political broadcasts on TV and radio,
By newspaper ads,
Posters,
personal media interview,
public meetings,
leaflet distribution,
door knocking and talking to local residents,
talking to local residents in a shopping centre,
being out and about in the local area,
text messaging,
from emails,
and campaign websites or blogs.
Early bird leaflets distributed, phone calling known supporters, tallying local candidates out and about.
The voting system. There's computerised voting, which is used online. You go on a certain website and you have to say your date of birth and address before voting.
you can also do it by post, and this has been allowed since 2007.
The most common is the polling station. This is where you can vote by going to buildings which has been designated for voting. For example, schools and churches. You vote by ticking a box on a piece of paper for the party you are voting for, and you put the paper in a ballot box, and this is all confidential.
What if you're away? If you're away on the day of the election, you can apply by post, or you can get somebody else to vote in your name. This is called voting by proxy. However, you must reach certain criteria in order to vote for somebody. This ensures that no random person votes for you or changes your vote.
Different types of elections. So there's a by-election, which is when a seat in the House of Commons becomes vacant between general elections. This can be when an MP resigns from Parliament, or when the MP dies.
Presidential election, we do not have this in the UK as we do not have president.
General election is held on a 4-year basis to decide the controlling party in the House of Commons. The party with most votes is allowed to have their representative put in place of Prime Minister.
Local elections are held within the local area to decide the local MP.
voting systems used would be first past the post. This is simply when the winner of the vote is chosen by the one who has the most votes. For example, if a candidate has, for example, 2,485 votes and the candidate B has 3,159, then candidate B will be the winner.
Single transferable vote is when candidates don't need a majority of votes to be elected or share of the votes. It's determined by the size of the electorate and the numbers of positions to be filled.
Proportional representation. This is a concept in voting systems used to elect an assembly or council. PR means that the number of seats won by a party or group of candidates is proportionate to the number of votes received. For example, under a PR voting system, if 30% of voters support a particular party, then roughly 30% of seats will be won by that party. Thank you for listening.
Woo!